Welcome everybody to the kickoff video for MainStreet.edu. No fat, no tuition, no BS student loans, just straight to the point, financial education, self-taught. Follow along if you'd like to. We're going to jump right into it. Today is syllabus day, and we will have our first study sessions in some videos next week. But today we're going to go through the courses for the first semester. We're going to take a look at the whole course design that ChatGPT spat out. And that I engineered with ChatGPT. I'm going to look over some of the textbooks that we're going to be using for this semester. I am building this one semester at a time. Obviously, we have a layout, but in terms of all of the details, for example, I don't need to overplan. So we're going to look over the first semester, look over the materials, prepare all my journals for the semester, and then kick it off and start studying. So first things first, let's look at what is in store for us. Let's look at this degree plan, right? So first things first semester, the one we're about to start, we've got accounting, we've got basics of business law, professional development. I may or may not do this one. We've got communication, business communication, quantitative business analysis, and a business statistics course. I threw quantitative business analysis in here particularly for myself as kind of a math refresher. I studied a very math-heavy degree in college, but this would be nice to review things. And then business statistics I am looking forward to quite a bit. So that's a brief overview of what semester 1 is going to be. Semester 2 is going to be Introduction to Managerial Accounting, Principles of Macroeconomics, which I will not be doing because I already have that course completed in my real degree. We will be doing Information Technology for Business, Advanced Quantitative Business Methods, and I will be skipping the core curriculum because Macro Mondays basically function as my application work. Year 2, Econ, again, we're going to skip because I already have that credit. Business Finance, looking forward to that. Financial Markets and Institutions, this will be fun, but lots of concepts. It'll be definitely tough to digest everything. And then Intro to Programming. These are 3 conceptually really heavy classes, so I'm only going to do 3 classes that semester. Second semester of year 2, we're looking at Introduction to Financial Modeling. That will be a lot of fun, but a lot of time. Investment Management, again, a lot of fun. Lots of conceptual work behind it. Object-oriented programming with Python. This is really useful stuff for writing any sort of algorithm to help you compute your formulas, manage your financial projections, even automate Excel and many other functions you might not want to spend all the time doing the manual labor for. So definitely going to be a useful course. Principles of Marketing and Organizational Behavior. These are more general business courses, not as financially focused, but definitely useful. And I will determine if we actually go through with these 2 when we get there. But yes, year 3, semester 5, we're looking at intermediate financial management, operations management, financial information and analysis, applied machine learning and finance, and again, Macro Mondays and the other projects that we will have going at this point in time will more than suffice for any sort of elective. Lastly, the final semester of this MainStreet.edu will be International Business, Advanced Business Communication, Financial Technology, and a custom course that I built, Market Microstructure and Institutional Trading Strategies. This course will be the last course that is a part of this, and it dives into market book mechanics, market making, how liquidity works, how, the real nitty-gritty of how exchanges function, right, market microstructure, and then also diving into all forms of institutional trading strategies from hedging to distressed asset investing to what's it called? Bill Ackman, activist investing, and etc. We will be studying each of these and diving into them. Anyway, so that's an overview of the whole 3 years. Now let's dive into what year 1, or more specifically semester 1, has in store for us. Need to charge the phone here. 1 second. Okay, cool. Now let's dive into what year 1, semester 1 has in store for us. So again, the ChatGPT professor, I asked it to build using an open source textbook. I asked it to build a full semester load for a 15-week semester. So it's going to have reading assignments and homework assignments, and this is time to create our first notebook. So this is for ACCT. If you want to follow along, feel free to do so. I will publish all of these textbooks that are openly available online. I will link them in the description for you to find yourself. So there, the first class has been created. Now what we're going to do is we're going to walk through each week and kind of talk about the progression. Now, I might have to edit some of this as we go. ChatGPT might not have always created the most realistic assignment. It might be too easy, or it might be a little ridiculous for the time allotments that I have for these classes. But week 1 is more of a conceptual week, role of accounting and financial statements. The assignments are listed out here, and the readings are listed out here. So it looks like it's just going to have me read chapter 1 and 2, and then write an essay basically consolidating the conceptual importance of understanding basic financial statements. Week 2, analyzing business transactions. Read chapter 3, and then the assignment is listed below accordingly. So this basically just have some practice problems. Week 3, double entry accounting system. Read chapter 3 continued. Again, assignment is listed here. Week 4, adjusting entries. Again, the reading is here, the assignment is here. Week 5, completing the accounting cycle. Preparing adjusted trial balance, financial statements, closing entries for the period. Read chapter 5. The assignment is Comprehensive Accounting Cycle Project Part 1. Students are given a business's unadjusted trial balance and must produce adjusting entries. Unadjusted trial balance from week 4 and adjusted trial balance. Okay, interesting. So adjusted trial, giving trial balances before adjustments. Students prepare adjustment journal entries for at least 5 scenarios. Supplies usage. Okay, cool. Week 6, merchandising operations, account for retail company, differences between service and merchandising accounting, learn about inventory cost of goods sold, COGS, and multiple step income statement, merchandising transactions, assignment, exercises on recording inventory purchases, sales, both gross and net. Methods, and computing costs of goods sold under perpetual system. Week 7, inventory accounting methods, inventory valuation methods. Read chapter 10, assignment, problem set comparing FIFO and LIFO. So obviously I'm not here yet, so I don't know what those acronyms mean. However, when I do get here, assuming it's not just something that's in the textbook, what I will do for these kinds of things is I'll basically feed the ChatGPT professor the material that I've been working on, and then I will ask it to create this on the spot, and I will record that, and I'll also record study sessions of me working through these things. Kind of study with me style videos, right? Same thing will go for quizzes and tests if they don't lay any in here, because it doesn't look like it has any quizzes or tests in here, which I'm not particularly worried about, because I've always thought quizzes and tests were kind of dumb, and projects are definitely more effective, but either way. Week 8, internal controls and cash management, importance of internal controls to prevent fraud, reference famous cases. Topics include bank reconciliations, petty cash, and cash controls. We're going to read chapter 8 in the textbook, which is listed above. Principles of Accounting, Volume 1. I will show access to that here. I will make that in my description. So let's see. Week 9, accounts receivable and revenue recognition, accounting for credit sales, uncollected accounts, bad debts, and allowance methods, reinforce revenue recognition standards. Chapter 9 is going to be the reading, and the assignment is a case study, and we're going to analyze a company's credit policy, record transactions for credit sales, and collections, then estimate bad debt using percentage of sales and aging of receivables methods. That might actually be perfect for, say, a Macro Monday, where I can find some sort of situation or some sort of headline that would, let's say, cause volatility with regards to, say, a company's debt, right? And then basically build this case study around that situation, and use this to do the case study, and then apply the headline to the results from that case study, and talk about how something like that headline could affect this company given the results from the case study. Just a thought. Obviously, we'll figure that out when we get there at week 9. Week 10, long-lived assets, property, plant, equipment, and intangibles, depreciation methods, straight line, declining balance, units of production, and amortization of intangibles. Chapter 11 is the reading, and the assignment will be basically just working on a depreciation schedule. That's cool. Liabilities and interest. Week 12, stockholders' equity. That's going to be fun. Week 13, statement of cash flows. Week 14, financial statement analysis. And week 15, comprehensive review and final assessment. The next class, so that's accounting. The next course is going to be business and public law. It's going to be more of a survey course to get us familiar with the breadth of business and public law. So introduction to legal and law systems. Week 1 is going to be introduction to law and legal systems. Read fundamentals. Okay, so and again, like the last course, it's really breaking it down just one chapter at a time, taking us through the textbook that it's building these courses off of, which I like. It's very linear, it's very straightforward and focused. Read fundamentals of business law, chapter 1, and then we're going to do a case brief. The assignment will be a case brief. We will read a provided short court case and write a brief. Become familiar with legal reasoning. Okay, cool. Week 2, the U.S. court system and dispute resolution. Week 3, legislation and administrative law. Week 4, torts and business. Week 5, contracts formation. Week 6, contracts performance and breach. Week 7, business ethics and legal issues. Week 8, agency law. Week 9, business organizations, part 1, partnerships. Week 10, business organizations, part 2, LLCs and corporations. Anybody in the audience who is an entrepreneur will probably already have some familiarity with the differences between these, because you have to deal with them when you file your taxes and you set them up in the first place. Anyways, week 11, corporate law and securities. Week 12, employment and anti-discrimination law. Week 11 would actually be really cool, if it goes deep enough, that is. It would be really cool to apply to a Macro Monday, potentially involving, say, the crypto markets or one of the more novel asset types. Week 13, consumer protection and antitrust. Week 14, property and intellectual property. Week 15, review and practical application, and then there will be a final exam. So, okay, at least one of these has an exam. Did this one have one? Yeah, okay, it had an exam. Cool. We're going to do no exams until the final exam. Great. I don't think I'll be doing professional development. I just don't really think I'll have time to squeeze this in with all the other courses on top of my full-time career, building this YouTube channel, and the other things that are on my plate. Although I do think it's useful, and I will publish the walkthrough. I'll scroll through it so you can see it if you're curious. You can just pause it and look at it if you want. But I will not be doing that class. So, okay, business communication. This is great, very important. Practice your technical communication and your business communication skills. Again, the textbook is here. I will be publishing that for you to access. One of the things I did when I set this up is I had ChatGPT. Go through and find publicly available textbooks so that I could do this almost free of charge, outside of my trusty notebooks here, and my AI subscriptions. So, oh wait, we forgot to do a business law notebook. Let's set up our second class. What was the course code for that one? BLAW 2301. Course number 2 has been set up. Now going through business communications. So this, again, all these textbooks will be the links to where I found them, where ChatGPT really found them and then sent them to me. I will put them in the description of the video. So week 1, Foundations of Business Communication. Again, it's going to take us through the chapters one by one, which I like. Assignment, self-assessment quiz on communication strengths, weaknesses provided in text. Oh, interesting. Oh, neat. Okay. So there's going to be a decent amount of writing for this course. Got it. Audience analysis and message crafting. That will actually probably be pretty cool to read about. Assignment. Again, chapter 2. Assignment is going to be audience profile exercise, given a scenario. Practice shifting your tone and message to match the audience. That's cool. I like that. That's actually pretty practical. A professional writing style, week 3, week 4, routine business correspondence. So this is going to be like the technicalities of writing emails. Okay, interesting. Here it is. Hypothetical client. I do that all the time in my work already. But anyways, week 5, collaborative communication and teams. Read chapter 3, and the assignment is going to be an in-class team exercise. So I don't have a small group to meet with, but I don't know, maybe I can get some of my friends on a call, or if we have enough people in the community by that point, the Main Street financial community, maybe we can do this. Who knows? That'll only be week 5, so we'll see. I'll figure some out. We will figure some out. Week 6, presentation skills, planning your presentation, good stuff. Week 7, presentation skills, delivery and visual aids, great stuff. Always good to know how to make a nice deck and deliver an idea effectively. Week 8, midterm check-in and midterm exam. Okay, nice. So this one actually has standard exams, unlike some of the other ones, which are almost entirely project-based outside of the final, which is probably more preferable to my learning style, but no, it's cool to have a little traditional education in here too. Week 9, reports and executive summaries. Week 10, persuasive communication. Just read Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. Week 11, negative bad news messages. Week 12, cross-cultural communication. That one will be interesting. I have run sales calls before using Google Translate. I speak English, and they spoke Spanish, and we ran the entire sales conversation over Google Translate. So this is definitely a real-world thing. Week 13, job search communications. Advanced presentation, business pitch. Students deliver. Okay, so this is like startup pitching. That's great. I'll pitch you guys on a startup. There you go. And then week 15, course recap and a portfolio. Communication. We'll compile a portfolio of their work. A polished email. Okay, cool. So basically like a collection of communications. Got it. So, week 1. Okay, so the next class in this is going to be... Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. We got to make this class real. So, we've got BCOM 3300, I think it was. Yeah. Business Communications. No. Business Communications started. Class is in session. Okay. So now, moving on to quantitative business analysis. Again, this is more of a refresher for me and anyone in the audience who's following along. This might be the first time you go over these concepts. So if it is the first time for you, please take your time. You don't have to keep my pace. You might outpace me in certain areas. Or you might just watch. You don't even have to follow along. But I'm going to make all this available so that you can follow along if you would like to. So this is going to be linear algebra and business analytics techniques. We're talking about regression, optimization, simulation, and decision analysis. Various applied mathematical concepts across a couple different disciplines, but just kind of the survey of these useful mathematical tools for the sake of being used in finance and business, modeling, projecting, etc. This class is made up of 2 textbooks. One of them is Applied Finite Mathematics, which is here. I will publish that, of course. And then the other one is a business statistics course, which is here. It's a business statistics book, forgive me. And I will publish that in the description as well, or post it. So week 1 is going to be a review of linear equations and their business applications. Reading is going to be chapter 1 from Applied Finite Mathematics. Assignment is going to be solve a set of 5 system of equations problem. Okay. Retake. Week 1 is going to be linear equations and business applications. The reading is going to be chapter 1, and we're going to have an assignment of just solving a couple different equations. Either there will be a provided worksheet from the textbook, or I'll just ask ChatGPT to make it. Week 2, matrices and matrix operations. Now this one I will need a refresher on. I haven't touched these in 3 years. So, reading is going to be chapter 3 from the Applied Finite Mathematics book. And the assignment is going to be perform matrix operations. Okay, yeah. So just practicing with matrices, just practicing with matrices. Week 3, solving systems with matrices. Week 3, solving systems with matrices. Week 4, linear programming, graphical method. Week 5, linear programming, simplex method. Week 6, introduction to regression analysis. Week 7, multiple regression and model building. Week 8, midterm exam. Okay, so we have some standard exams here. Nice. And review. Week 9, introduction to simulation, Monte Carlo simulations. Oh, nice. It looks like they're going to plug some MIT OpenCourseware in here as well. Stop it. Week 10, simulation applications. Case handout, simulating inventory of on-page case describing news vendor problem with uncertain demand. Okay, interesting. So I guess this will be in the textbook? I'm not sure. Again, ChatGPT I asked it to produce detailed assignments and readings. So worst case scenario, if this isn't in the textbook and I asked ChatGPT for this and it doesn't necessarily have something on the ready, I will have ChatGPT, the professor, create this or pull some sort of assignment from any one of the thousands of colleges in the world, and we will make this something. We will make this happen. But that's interesting. So it's setting this detailed outline for everything that we need to do. Assignment, group, mini project, 2 to 3 students. Again, it's just me going through this, but hey, maybe the community will be big enough, or I can have a couple friends jump in on this with me. Worst case, we'll figure something out. Source operation, random demand each day, elevate. Oh, interesting. So again, week 11, decision analysis under uncertainty. Week 11, decision analysis under uncertainty. Week 12, risk analysis and sensitivity. Week 13, integrative. Okay. Week 13, integrated case study. Week 14, case study presentations and discussion. Week 14, Week 14, case study presentations and discussions. The team presents their findings from the integrated case study. What was the recommended business decision and how quantitative analysis informed it? Peer review of approaches, instructor fills any gaps, and highlights best practices. So what I'll do here is I'll take my project work, I'll submit it to ChatGPT and say, hey, here's what I think we should do. Tell me what your thoughts are. And be ruthless about it. Make this a learning experience. And then the assignment, quantitative analysis project, final submission, and presentation. Okay, cool. So week 15, final exam or capstone assessment. Honestly, I'll probably just do a final exam. Just a simple practice of the applied mathematics will suffice. I'll be doing plenty of capstone style application and macro Mondays and the other various projects we'll have going on. Stat 3360, wait, before I get ahead of myself, let's make this class a reality. RE 3330 3333. There we go. Quantitative business analysis is now in session. The last class of the first semester is going to be, I skipped right past it, business statistics, stat 3360. This is a more obviously focused class than the last one. The last one is kind of a survey of many mathematical techniques for business analysis. This one is specifically business statistics, which I am actually very excited to take and work through and learn. Again, it's going to use the same business statistics book that was used in the last course. It's just going to go way deeper into it. Week 1 is going to be an introduction in descriptive statistics. You know, more of a conceptual week. We're going to talk about the role of statistics, how it's used. First, reading is going to be chapter 1, and then some of chapter 2. The assignment is going to be to compute descriptive stats for a small data set provided, monthly sales figures for a year. Students calculate the mean, median, standard deviation, and create a histogram. They can use Excel. Submit answers with a short interpretation. Okay, cool. So basically, you know, just application of the basic concepts. Week 2, data visualization and summary. Again, it's gonna go chapter by chapter, and in this case, it's breaking up which sections we read from the book and when. So reading the rest of chapter 2, and we're going to be given another data set. Again, if these things aren't in the textbook, I will have ChatGPT create them, and then I will work through it as an assignment from there. Week 3, probability concepts. Love that. Week 4, discrete random variables and distribution. Super useful. Week 5, continuous distributions, normal distribution, extremely useful. Week 6, normal applications and central limit theorem. Week 7, confidence intervals for means. Week 8, hypothesis testing, basics. Week 9, hypothesis testing, proportions and errors. Week 10, comparing two samples. Week 11, chi-square and categorical data. Week 12, linear regression revisited. Week 13, ANOVA, analysis of variance. Again, lots of applied, what I'm seeing here in the assignments, I know I'm not reading through them in detail, but what I'm seeing here in the assignments, is lots of applied-based assignments, lots of project-based assignments, which I like, I prefer over just, strict pen and paper calculating assignments. It's more, it takes a better understanding of the concepts to actually apply it to a real situation like ChatGPT designed here, which I like. Week 14, course project review. Assignment, data analysis mini project. Construct, 2 categories, significant regression. They submit a short report, slide deck with their findings. You know what I could try to do here? I don't know if I'll have enough tools in my tool belt to pull this off yet, but if I could do some sort of, really, really lightweight freshman attempt at some sort of stat arbitrage, where I take the price performance of construct a 95% CI for categories. I don't know. I can figure something out, but I'd want to take what I've learned, and again, I could probably just make this a macro Monday thing, but I want to take what I've been learning here and apply it to a specific stock or set of stocks and make it really applicable to the whole goal of this channel, which is to master personal and professional finance, investing, and trading. 2015 final exam. That's going to be obviously a formal kind of traditional style exam, which I will either record and post, or it would be kind of cool if I scheduled it as a live stream and then I took the exam and other people could join in and take the exam on their own. We'll see where we are when we get there, though. So anyways, my goal, this is probably unrealistic, and if it is, I will move my hours accordingly. My goal is to try, I'm really trying to be as cutthroat about this stuff as possible and get absolutely to the meat and the muscle and cut out as much fluff. So I'm ideally trying to spend 10 hours a week on this, but really I'm looking at probably more, 20 at minimum, and then another 10 for YouTube production, editing, and posting. So really this is looking more like a 20 to 30 hour a week project. Maybe I can, get super efficient and hit 15, but, we're probably going to be in the 15 to 30 hour range. So now what I'm going to do, the last thing I'm going to do here today for the kickoff, outside of creating the last journal for the semester. What was it was math. No, it was stat. Okay. Stat. 3, 3, 6, 0, right? 3, 3, 6, 0. No. Yes, it was 6, 0. Class is in session, peeps. Boom. So the last piece to do here, now that we've reached the end of the syllabus review, really for this course, you'll need Excel. You'll need probably a graphing calculator, which I have somewhere. I need to unbury it. You'll need Excel. You'll need a graphing calculator. Some notebooks for some handwritten notes. Of course, the trusty Sharpie. And then all the textbooks I'm going to post. And you can just follow me along from there. You can rewatch this video at any time and just slow it down to see what each of the weeks entail if you want to follow along. And yeah, that's all you really should need for this course. And then I'm going to jump into building a schedule. So first things first, this is just, my calendar for this channel / this project. I want to try to use this as an opportunity to maximize my mornings. My career is sales oriented, and here's today's schedule for this video. My career is sales oriented, and that means I'm dealing with people, but people aren't talking, until the day has really started. So I've really got until about 8 to 9. Sometimes I have to start my work at 8, but typically until about 9. It's just the morning. And I would love to try to maximize my mornings with this project. So I can either try to shoot for a 7 to 9 study block / application block / macro Monday block, Monday through Friday, which I think is reasonable. Because I'll probably get up at 6, handle some things, get myself ready, and then start by 6:30 to 7, and then work until 9. Not a bad idea. If I try to go for 5, there's not a chance in heck that I'm going to bed at 9. And 8 hours is important. So I think I'm going to shoot for 7 to 9. That's what I think I'm going to do here. Studying. So let's say, no, let's think about the hours here. Okay. So if I do, and this is just for the school stuff. This is just for the school stuff. So if I study from 7 to 9, Monday through Friday, that is exactly 10 hours a week. Now, this semester, I'm taking really? I'm taking 5 courses. So that means I basically need to do 1 course a day. That means I need to finish the entire reading and possibly the assignment in a single 2-hour block. I don't know if that's feasible. I know I could do the whole reading in a 2-hour block. But I don't know about the assignment as well. And again, if I'm only reading 1 chapter, but those chapters might be long, and it's not like I have multiple days to work on it. I don't know. Let's set 7 to 9 as a base. We'll do 7 to 9 as a base. Obviously, I'll move it around accordingly. For example, if my job, calls me up at 7:30 and I gotta run a sales call at 7:30, I'm gonna have to do it, and I'll have to move my stuff elsewhere. But that's okay. That's part of the game. This is just, the only reason I'm really recording this is to help any of you who might be trying to figure out how to balance your schedules with multiple things going on at the same time too. This is how I think about it. I'm trying to think about what's most feasible. How can I set a reliable base that I can then move around accordingly to match the schedule of whatever I've got going on. So let's do this. Bam. Bam. Study. Readings. Assignments. Project. Tests. So again, this is not project time. This is not Macro Monday time. This is exclusively readings and assignments. Repeats. Daily, weekdays. And let's have it end in, what is that, July? Let's see, the school semester starts. So 15 week is actually 4 months. So 12. So we will have it end on the Friday before Christmas. And this is just me planning out how I'm going to approach this. I will adapt this as I need to. I might shed a course if I can't balance it with my work and I'm not getting anything done. There's no point in moving forward on it. I'll just shed a course and do 3 classes or 4 classes. I'd rather get the knowledge and get it right than try to do everything and just succeed at nothing. So here's my initial study blocks. I will keep y'all posted with the progress. You will see study sessions. I might live stream sometimes once I figure that out. I'm really new to the YouTube stuff. But I'll definitely pre-record some of my studying so you guys can study along and follow along. Check the description for the textbooks. Check the description for the textbooks. And stay tuned. There's more to come. So anyways, that's ridiculous. So yeah, I've decided to make 7 to 9 a.m. my base for kind of my, my study base. Look, worst case scenario, if I can't balance it, I can't get enough done, I'll just drop a class or 2. And just focus on getting the absolute core knowledge. I'd rather study 3 courses in the first semester and actually learn something and get them done fully instead of trying to do too much and accomplishing nothing. The reason I showed you this is it's just part of the full process, right? I am documenting my journey of this self-education, this self-built degree plan, and I figure maybe hearing my thoughts as to how I organize it will help some of you in the audience. Thanks again for tuning in. That's really all I've got for today. This was Syllabus Day. We went through all of the courses, everything that we're going to be doing this semester, set up the journals. The textbooks are going to be in the description below, and now I've got a base study calendar. This doesn't include, YouTube time, macro Mondays, or projects. This is just, projects as part of assignments, it does. But this is just assignments and reading, and we'll take it from there. I'll be doing, update videos from time to time if I need to make a change or switch something up. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the first study sessions starting next week, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.